do you fear for Everton this season? Do you expect them to stay up? Let me ask you straight up.
I do, but maybe that's me speaking with me heart rather than me head. But I do think that they might just have enough.
What have you seen? What have you seen so far this season from their single point and 2 goals
scored? The only thing that gives me a little bit of optimism, Adam, is that when they played Fulham at home and Wolves at home, they should have won them games. They've played realistically without a striker in them games, and they created chances, and they're the games that you would expect them to be more creative. And to be honest, they were. But when you're playing the likes of the top teams like Arsenal, like Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, the one thing as a fan you want from your team is that, yes, you've got a good idea that, listen, we're up against it today. It's going to be a really tough game to win, but at least go and have a go. And you never know. You might get the rub of a green off a set piece or something, and it gives you something to hold on to. Everton had nothing today. They offered nothing. They didn't even give themselves an opportunity to get the rub of the green where they get an opportunity, because they didn't put the balls in an area of the pitch, as in Arsenal's goal mouth or 18-yard box, to give themselves a chance of scoring goals. So that's why he was saying it was toothless, it was tepid. They never looked like scoring at all today.
Dave, same question to you. Do you expect them to stay up this year? Do you see 3 teams that are currently worse than Everton?
Well, look, I think Luton will go, to be honest. Burnley obviously need to do. I'm quite surprised at Burnley because they've walked the Championship last season, and when a team does that, you can usually expect them to sort of carry that momentum into the Premier League, and they haven't. Sheffield United, listen, they scrap for everything. Very, very unlucky not to win yesterday. I watched them against Man City. Very unlucky not to get something there. Watched them against Everton. Very unlucky not to win. But eventually you do have to post wins on the board. You can't keep being unlucky. I think it's going to be a lot tighter than it was last year. I think Beto may be the silver lining. If he can get them even, do you know what? It might even be 8 or 9 goals. You might not even have to break double figures to keep Everton up. But he has to start scoring soon, and Dyche needs to find a way of getting him scoring and getting the chances.
Let's not forget there's also potential of perhaps a points deduction happening at some point this season. It's hanging over the heads of Everton Football Club and all their fans. I don't know what's going to happen concerning that. It's just a possibility. What about Sean Dyche? Do you expect him to see out the season? And how much pressure is he under? And if he does go, who else can he bring in?
I think that's the reason why he's probably not, or his job is safe for the time being, Adam, because I'm scratching my head to think of who could be the potential next manager. He certainly is under pressure. There's no doubt about that. Everton's form right now is not good, and it is a concern, because for me, on paper, this season, this was the best start that Everton have had on paper for a number of years. When you look at the teams that they've played against, and you find themselves with 1 point after them opening games. So yes, I'm concerned. Is Sean Dyche under pressure? 100% he is. But unfortunately, with what's going on behind the scenes, and also I think when you've got a new ownership of clubs, you'd always find that they've got different ideas to the previous regimes, whether they want to bring in a bigger name manager, whether they want to try and impress the fans, with, listen, we're going to make a statement, we're going to try and get... These questions are all still to be answered, but Sean Dyche has got to start picking up points as Everton manager.
Yeah, with the takeover news coming out this week, there's still a long way to go, tests to be passed and so forth before it can be ratified and completed. Dave, the pressure that Sean Dyche is under, how long do you think he's got?
Well, they're going to have to do something, aren't they? And it's the age-old question, if it carries on, do you want to do it before January? Have they even got money to spend? Can they spend? These are all the questions that need to be answered. If they are going to spend, do they have to get rid of players? Can they get rid of players? Who wants their players? there's so many unknowns at Everton right now. When you look at it on paper, it's an extremely brave purchase to take on Everton right now, or might just turn out to be stupid, one of the two. But it's really difficult to say. I agree with Stubbsy. You know, when these institutions come in, generally they want to put their stamp on the club straight away. I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to do that at Everton.